Hi guys, Jay here. So, bit of a last minute video really. I'm going to give you an update on my teams for the Japanese Grand Prix. What teams I'm likely to go with after we've had FP1 and FP2. Mainly FP1 because let's face it, there was a lot of red flags in FP2. But originally, I was going to do a community post with my thoughts and my team. But then I had a nice comment basically asking for a new video today, so I said I'd see what I can do. So with that said, let's get into it. So this is my first team, and I'm actually thinking of using the wild card. I don't want to use the wild card, but I took a 20-point transfer penalty in China, and then Ferrari had their disqualifications, so I got hit pretty hard in that regard. So what I'm thinking is we're definitely going to get rid of Ferrari. We're also going to get rid of Mercedes, and we're also going to get rid of Isaac Hadjar. But we're also going to get rid of Oscar Piastri. And you might be wondering, why would I get rid of Oscar Piastri? So if I go over to the budget builder, and this is with the post FP2 simulations, but basically it hasn't changed from the equal ppm from last time. But the reason I'm going to get rid of Piastri is, out of the top four drivers, so that's Norris, Antonelli, Russell, Piastri, he's the less negative safe. And what I mean by that is, if you look under the good performance, so the 0.1 value increase, Norris is covered for a DNF, so a -20. Antonelli is covered for a -8, and Russell is covered for a -2. Piastri, however, still needs a +8 in order to get at least a 0.1 increase. He also needs 28 points for a 0.3 increase. Now, I don't deny that Piastri will get this. I'd be very surprised if he doesn't. However, if Piastri DNFs, especially early in the race, we're looking at a lot of a price loss. So in my opinion, it's just my opinion, it's safer to go with Norris, Antonelli or Russell for the time being. But like I say, I don't expect Piastri to DNF. I'm just being cautious. So with that said, we'll start with the constructors. This one's a no-brainer for me, which is McLaren and HAAS. McLaren for the points, HAAS for the budget build. Drivers, going Russell. He'll be my DRS boost. And then Lance Stroll. This is probably obvious reasons other than Russell, which is we're building budget. Again, if I go over to the budget build, to the budget calculator, we're looking for the best assets to grow our budget. Ocon is good for a -2 and a -10. Stroll needs 1 point for a 0.6 increase, a -7 for a 0.2. Behrman just needs 3 points, -3, he's covered for 0.2. Hulkenberg is the more of the iffy one, 6 points for a 0.6 increase and a -1 for a 0.2 increase. I did think about Albon. If you go back to my original Japanese team selection video, I was thinking of Albon because I wanted to go full on budget build. But since the news about Tsunoda and Lawson swapping over their roles in Red Bull Racing Bulls, it made me reconsider. And Albon needs 19 points for a 0.6. He did get 17 in Australia, but I think it's very hit and miss whether he'll get 19. Tsunoda, 21 points. I was impressed with Tsunoda in FP1, but unfortunately, due to all the red flags in FP2, we didn't get to see him develop further. So it's still a no-go for me for the time being. And Lawson needs 11. Again, he did fine. Lawson, I think he did fine in FP, but I'm nothing to sway me to pick him. So that said, it's a no-brainer for me. Ocon, Stroll, Behrman, Hulkenberg with the B assets. And we'll just quickly look at the constructors as well. McLaren, Mercedes and Red Bull would be your A constructors you'd be looking at for budget build. And then for the B constructors, HAAS, V-Carb, and at a push, Williams, or at a risk, kick Sauber. So that is my thinking for Team 1. Is Russell, DRS boost, Hulkenberg, Ocon, Behrman, Stroll, McLaren, HAAS. But I will have to use my wild card for this team, and it leaves me 9 million in the bank to play with as we head into Bahrain. So for Team 2, this one's pretty straightforward. We're saying goodbye to Ferrari, we're saying goodbye to Mercedes, and again, we're just going McLaren, HAAS, just straightforward 2 transfers. It's the same team, only this time I've got Antonelli. Antonelli needs 9 points for a 0.3 increase, which I think is doable. But again, he's covered at a -8 for a 0.1 at least. So the only thing with this team is because I've got Antonelli and Bearman, I've got 2 rookies. So if it's wet, I'm definitely considering playing the no negative card. And then finally, this is my third team, which is currently my best team. This one is very simple and easy. We say goodbye to Hajar. And you've probably guessed it, we say hello to Bearman. This occasion, we still have Lando Norris as our 2 times. Like I say, this is my best team out of the 3. So there's no point in getting rid of Lando. But also, this means I carry an extra transfer into Bahrain. And if I'm happy with the budget build on this team, I may play Limitless in Bahrain. I would rather hold off until Miami, but with the way the pricing system and the budget building is working, I may be persuaded to go Limitless in Bahrain, just because it's my best team at the moment and to see how it plays out. But we'll see. Finally, just to say that on F1 Fantasy Tools on Twitter, on the F1 Fantasy Tools Twitter page, they did release a post about an hour ago at the time of recording, where we've got the post FP2 simulations now, as we know, but also there's a new feature. I'm still playing around with it, so I can't really know too much about it right now. But basically, also new this week, an option to convert expected price changes into points over future races. Use it to balance points versus price changes. When you first enable the option, you will get a pop-up with all necessary information. So if we go to the calculator, you can see here I've actually got my planned team for the Japanese Grand Prix for Team 1. And if we scroll down here, you'll see there's a little switch. So this is on the team calculator on Fantasy Tools. And it says convert expected price changes into expected price change points. And you click on the little switch here. And then there's a little meter. How much points should a 1 million budget increase earn you per future race over 22 remaining races? So what you can do here is you can have a think about how many points you'll think you'll get for each 1 million budget increase. So let's just say 1.6, and you'll see the simulated points and the simulated price changes. So it gives you an idea of moving forward your current team. How is it looking moving forward? Again, if I just go back here, where was it? So we've got 0.2. You can see here -10, so that's extra transfers. Same thing though, you can just go up, force no transfer penalties, and have a look. Links to these are in the description below if you want to have a little play around with them. In terms of GridRivals, I don't know if this is the same team I had when I did the video, my original video for the Japanese Grand Prix, but it looks like I'm going with Antonelli, Albon, Bearman, Stroll, Bortoleto, and McLaren. Albon and McLaren, it's their final race before their contract expires, and it looks like I've brought in Lance Stroll on a 2-race contract. So we'll see how that does. So yeah, that's it from me, guys. I'll try and get this edited as quickly as I can and get it up as quickly as I can, and I hope it helps you move forward. Thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate it, and good luck over the weekend. I'll speak to you next week for the Bahrain Grand Prix. All the best.